HeyDay. We're about to drop Sea Lover Boogie. Previously recorded. This is the Ali Shuffle. Shoot, 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 shoot. Enjoy the show. Bro.
Cutty, man!
You want?
I tell you, bro.
What's the leg?
That's my Brody.
Leg, you look cool as hell. That brim is cold, bro. You got it tilted ace deuce track.
Yours looking kind of sharp yourself, bro, Shaq.
Hey, man. I get it from you. You
Ooh,
so,
bro. Oh, got Big Daddy Pierce in the house. That's my guy right there. Yeah, everybody's coming in. My boy J.U. What up, J.U.? Before we get started, let's go ahead and shout these sponsors out real quick while the room is filling up. This episode here will be brought to you by Deaf Eye Radio Show, who will also be tuning in soon and putting their information in the room. And also from Cutty Mac Publishing, we got West Los Angeles, the book and the web series. Thanks for the donation for your Cutty Mac Publishing. I appreciate that, son. And our girl Afro is in the house. Got to give her a huge announcement. She will definitely be joining the Hip Hop Dance Stories team.
That's dope.
Yes, sir. Put that extra touch on it. Mm-hmm. Oh, we got to salute first, Cliff.
What'd you say?
Straight natural fermented herb salute. Put your glass up, Cutty. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Ooh, what you over there drinking?
Oh, Cutty. Fermented herb, the Tiger Bone, Cutty.
You said Tiger Bone?
No joy juice.
That's right.
That shit kick like it is. That shit kick like fucking that corn based whiskey.
Ledge so old school, but he new school, you know? He got like a real
jacket on me. That was you put that jacket on me.
Man, you crazy, Ledge. You been smooth the way you groove. Nigga, Ledge be grooving, and he just be going down like this. You and V-Love and Craig, he be moving fast, rapid fire. Ledge be like, it's like you was smoking so much weed, it's like you was stuck in the cloud. Like, you know, the smoke that be in the air in the dressing room, Ledge put it on his body and wear it like a coat. And be on stage like, Sandman is in me. Sandman is in me.
That's right. All right, here we go, C-Love. Gonna bring you in, Cutty. This how we do. Ladies and gentlemen, not only am I proud to present the OG of this here hip-hop boogie era from the golden era, not only is he one of my best friends in the world, also my Cutty Mac. And it just gets deeper and deeper. And then when you hear this story, you see why our connection is so cold. So without further ado, I bring to you my brother, and I know his mother, Jackie Love, C-Love, Cliff Love, C-Lover Boogie. How you doing, my beloved brother?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good, man. I see you, man, and this is cool, man. This has been a long time coming, man. This is my first time on Instagram, IG, and doing anything like this, man. This is cool, man, for real.
Yeah. You know, since you my brother, you know, we always talk. Like I said, so, but seeing from the dance world, like V-Love was telling me, it was like, you know, everybody heard your name, but you're like a mystery. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I didn't even see that side of you, like I said, because we always build it. So People who don't see him, he doesn't do social media, not too many interviews, but here he is. So we're gonna start from ground zero, Cutty. You know how we do.
That's
So
right.
let the cats know. And this is all inside the dance mind of my man Cliff Love.
Yeah.
Is that your music in the back?
Well, I turned it down.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna start from ground zero.
Right.
Everybody had that moment, whether it was an uncle or an aunt or watching rerun or Soul Train. What was that moment that inspired you to get up on your feet and say, okay, I got this?
It was definitely, my mother and father and my aunts, Merlin and Curlin, and just my family. My grandmother had a big, gigantic mirror in the living room in Brooklyn. And it's like they would just be in there grooving. My Uncle Herman be in there spinning his cuts. And we will all be in the living room getting down. And my mother and father and my aunts be doing what they call the Latin hustle. Just the New York style of dance, the hustle. And just watching them as a kid and my eyes being open. And my mother and them grew up in Lafayette Gardens Projects in Brooklyn. And 345, they live on the 10th floor. But what they used to do as young girls, they used to go battle the different neighborhood, the projects, and get down, like from Marcy to Fort Greene, Farragut, Gowanus. They had the best dancers, so the DJ would be out there in the 70s getting down. So just absorbing that, hearing it, and then when I was old enough to go, because you get the dancing and people get the shooting and you got to run from the 70s. But just, really my moms and my family just really boogieing and just getting it in with the afros and the bell bottoms and just being real fly with it, real stylish with it. And it was just something that I gravitated towards as a young kid. And then, like everybody else's story, you dancing and they knew you could dance and everybody throwing you money. They throwing money at your feet. Young Sammy Davis Jr. on them, So that's how it started, man.
Okay, since you got your base foundation in the crib, getting that in. So when did you know that you were nice enough, and being in the mecca of hip hop, New York, where you had graffiti, rapping, DJing, other things you can do? When did you know, okay, Cliff Love, I'm going to take my shit out to the streets? When did that moment arise?
That's a good question. I guess it was.
And that's got was it locking or was it popping?
It was straight up popping. It was the popping era with my first partner, Lear. And, junior high school, middle school, we did a talent show at 117. It was the Pop Along Kids. It was me, AB Money, my man Understanding.
What?
And May May was his younger brother. He was the mascot. AB had a brother named Dave. And these cats were the nicest poppers in my neighborhood, hands down. They was definitely on that turbo level, like period. AB Money and Dave was just and Hunt. So we put together a group, and the Moonwalk just came out. So I mastered it at home watching Jeffrey Daniels. I just mastered it. And it was time for my solo. And I hit that Moonwalk. And the crowd went crazy. It was pandemonium because nobody really saw it. It was before Michael did it on Motown Live because we all saw Jeffrey Daniels do it. We saw Jeffrey Daniels do it like pre-Michael doing it. And it was just, that was it. I said, yeah, this is what I want to do. I like this feeling. This is real cool. This is fun.
Yeah, building on that real quick, because I know you used to build on that. Like everybody has their moments like maybe seeing Beach Street or rerun for the first time and things of that nature. Or Motown 25, Mike. But certain cat, remember, and it moved your life, was when Jeffrey Daniels did the Pop Along Kid on Soul Train. Why did that have such an impact on you and the rare people who remember that episode and puts it up there with all the other great ones? What happened that morning
Well,
that got you?
it was the first time I saw popping. I never seen it before. I didn't know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what is he doing with his body? This guy's a robot. I mean, we saw Mike in the Jackson 5 hitting a robot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the way Jeffrey took that South Central essence, it was South Central, y'all. That's what y'all got to understand. It was the street culture. And for him to take what he learned coming from South Central, deep in the hood, all the way to Hollywood to dance on Soul Train, he was taking what he learned from Central Avenue or whatever he was doing to Hollywood and exposed it to the world. So Jeffrey Daniels was like, him and Jody Watley, they stood out. You know, just the way they dressed, but they was just real smooth with it. And he gave us a gift. He gave me a gift. You know what I mean? He gave me a gift. Yeah.
Okay, so now, after the talent shows that you rocking, so you made a good impression in your first talent show?
You said what?
You made a good impression in your first talent show?
Yeah, my first talent show for sure. I came back to school that Monday, the teachers and everybody was like, yo, that was dope, man. That was dope. And it was just real cool and humbling, you know, to be respected like that. You know, it was like, wow. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so you stayed in the popping lane. Did you ever try b-boying? Did you hit any windmills or anything like that? Or did you just stay, you knew popping was your strength?
Yeah, I was really nice at up rocking. You know, I wasn't really good at breakdancing. My man Mark Roxy and them, they was ill at that, but I stuck to popping, and I was just really into, because I was hanging out with a lot of Puerto Rican cats from Franklin Avenue, all my Puerto Rock homeboys. And them cats was just mean at up rocking. So I used to just sit and watch them for hours and hours and hours. So that was as far as I went, just up rocking.
And New York, did you guys pop more to like that computer Kraftwerk sound, or did you more to the funk, like Zap and stuff? Like, what was like you guys' main music to pop to?
It was definitely we much more pop to, if my recollection, you know, it was more the computers, the Kraftwerk. It was strictly, it was more the computer and that whole Kraftwerk sound.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we got down to more so. That was more in the South. When I went down South for the summers, we used to go, my mom used to send us down South to stay with my Aunt Pauline in Hampton, Virginia. And she lived on this street called Virginia Road. Speaking of the whole funk thing, and I got turned out. There was a group out of Hampton, Virginia, in Phoebus. My aunt lived in Phoebus, Virginia, and there was a group called Nature's Gang. And like any other community, any other hood across America, the roller rink was your playground. You skated and you danced. So I got introduced to Parliament, Prince. This is early 80s, late 70s. So I got turned out and watching them pop lock and get down to funk. So that right there, they were a huge influence on me moving forward in life, because when I hear those records to this day, I think about Nature's Gang, Oz, and these cats were just amazing. And I never seen nobody dance like this to this type, like popping actually to funk music. So yeah.
Hey, when was the moment, the song, where the transition took place from Poppins, Cliff? What was your Poppin name?
It was Cliff Love when I was a shorty.
Cliff Love? Okay, so what happened when it went from Poppin to the techno music or whatever to Cliff Love boogieing? Like, what was the song like that made the transition where you went into that?
It was Teddy Riley's Rap's New Generation.
Mm.
New jam. That was it.
And it just made the moves and everything just change.
Yeah, it was a certain slap. It
Was
slapped.
the culture also kind of changing now once that song hit?
Yeah, because it was like no more suede Pumas, no more shell toe Adidas. You know, that whole movement was in the history books, and it was an evolvement because we were the next generation after the Bambadas and the Rocksteady crews and all of them pioneers and all them great guys. So it was a paradigm shift, and we really went into this whole New Jack Swing space, and it was and what's interesting about it is that whole movement legend evolved in Harlem, in the heart of Harlem. You know what I mean? Teddy Riley created that movement in his where he grew up at, but he gave us a gift and a blessing to bring it in the rooftop roller rink. And that's where I opened up my eyes up personally and saw a whole nother shift in the way I was dancing. And I was heavily influenced by like the whole Harlem essence of the swing. And he called it New Jack Swing. And he had a recording studio over top on the rooftop, but he had a recording studio upstairs from the roller rink at the rooftop. And world famous Brucey B and Dougie Fresh was downstairs in the DJ booth, getting busy, rocking the house. And when I went to the rooftop for the first time, it was a breath of fresh air, bro. It was like I was in Harlem, but everything was just like, you know how you see when Mary J. Blige is on stage and she be doing that dance and she just be giving it up. It's like when I see Mary J. Blige, that's nothing but the rooftop. That's Dougie Fresh. That's Brucey B. That's New Jack Swing. You know, that's Heavy D before Heavy D made records.
And see, me seeing it from the West Coast perspective, now you're saying it, I'm seeing it all in my head right now. It's all making sense.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing about it is this, though. When I went to the rooftop, when I'm in there grooving, it's like, okay, here we have Brucey B. World famous Brucey B. He's the godfather. He's like, he inspired Kid Capri. World famous Kid Capri. So Brucey B was the blueprint. So you got Brucey B in the DJ booth. And next to him is Dougie Fresh. Right? So Dougie is giving you nothing but swing, swing. So Teddy's upstairs creating New Jack Swing. But then you go 10 minutes from there. And you go back to the 1940s, 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes from the rooftop. Here you have Chick Webb. Chick Webb was the drummer in the Savoy Ballroom. So he was the Brucey B of the 1940s. So you have Chick Webb as the drummer. So now the dancers are Shorty Snowdom, right? That created the whole Lindy Hop movement, that created it. And then he passed it on to Whitey's Lindy Hoppers. And you had Frankie Manning, you had Ann Johnson, Norma Miller, and Billy Ricker. So these guys were the dancers, Whitey's Lindy Hoppers. So when you watch the movie Hell's a Poppin', they created that whole dance. They created what they call air steps. So when you watching them swing dance and Hell's a Poppin', when they going around, it goes, dan, 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 dan. It's like they was rapid. They was moving so fast. And these cats was only 17 18, 19 years old. So what I'm saying is, here you had Chick Webb that gave them big band swing. So now 5 minutes, 10 minutes up the street, fast forward into the 80s, you got world famous Brucey B, Teddy Riley, that's New Jack swing. You got big band swing. See it? Big band swing. Now you got New Jack swing. And you got Teddy Riley, Dougie Fresh, and Brucey B on the turntables. And he's giving you and then I look up and I'm in the party like this. And it's like I'm in Harlem, but he's playing James Brown, but he's giving it, he's blending it, and it has a swing effect to it. Because now the spirit, the angels, the essence, everything of Harlem is in Brucey B's fingertips. Chick Webb is in his fingertips. Chick Webb was a drummer, Brody. He was a drummer giving you swing, big band swing. So these kids that was created Lindy Hop, Frankie Manning and them, when they did that shit in the movie Hell's a Poppin', it was a global phenomenon. But it all goes back to the streets, to the community, to the hood. That was a global phenomenon. So now the Rooftop, and we in there, and I'm chilling. Just check this out, y'all. I'm in the Rooftop, and I'm just grooving. I'm doing my thing, and I'm just having fun. And the circle opens up, and these two cats come out of nowhere, and they're sliding on the floor fast. And I'm like, the first group of people I thought of was the Nicholas brothers. I'm like, this is like, and I'm like 16, and I'm like, this is like a Nicholas brothers energy in here. There's these cats named Juice and Wiz.
Rooftop Wiz, that's my guy.
Brody, I swear to God, it's like what they were doing back then is like looking at the Les Twins now. How the Les Twins are like global phenomenons. The Rooftop roller rink gave us Juice and Wiz, and they were running up the walls like the Nicholas brothers. They were breathtaking. And then the Gucci girls came out, and then Dapper Dan was putting all the fly stuff on them, and they was, that was just super local. He was just blessing the community. It wasn't like he was just blessing everybody with the pieces. And the Gucci girls came out, like how if you look at the guy video Groove Me, if you look at the guy video Groove Me, y'all, that's what the Rooftop was in Harlem. It was nothing but the
I felt that too.
And they was just going, they was just moving their shoulders, and they was dancing. So it was the mirror image of whatever they was doing in the Savoy with Chick Webb. That's what the Rooftop roller rink gave us, and that gave birth to incredible dancers like Butter, my man Dardo, Davi the Great, my man Davi. This cat was wearing mohair cashmere sweaters back in the day.
Just say Spank? That's Shank or Spank?
Who?
Shake? Shake.
Shake.
Oh, no.
Shake.
Oh, Shake, yeah. The dancer Shake.
Yeah, shout out to E-Boogie and Buddha Stretch.
Yeah, man. So it gave us so much, and that whole movement gave us Mary J. Blige. So by the time she did her thing, when you see Mary on stage getting busy, it's like she's channeling the Rooftop, because she was in the Rooftop every week. She was skating and she was dancing and she was getting busy. So that's that whole Harlem blessing that we got. I'm sorry if I went off in a tangent. I kind of got into that.
Not at all, because you actually covered the next question, which was, I'm glad you even went on next. You even got it covered as much. So now you can only focus on this, the first of the reason why, right?
Okay.
Now, in our street dance culture now, like I said, in dance culture, a lot of us, well, not saying us, a lot of other dancers, that's great dancers, they start with Don Campbell and, go to Electric Boogaloo, Rocksteady, so forth and so on. Now, I know, you all part of that. I know you a locker baby, popping baby, like I said, all that good stuff.
Right.
But what made you say, you know what? I got to dig a little deeper. And I know that I'm from that street dance culture, that, the baby of that. But I know I'm cut from the hoofing Harlem Renaissance era, Central Ave era cloth. How did you know dig just a little deeper and go past Campbell Lock and into where you knew where you connected as far as what you wanted to present to the hip hop boogie gang?
Well, I gotta give it up. Well, not really knowing what I was looking at, but making me go into my. And I want to start by saying this, and then I'm gonna get to the point really dope. When I came to Los Angeles for the first time with Whodini dancing in '86, when we started rocking with the Cats, me and Lance Romance was doing our thing in '86. 87. Me and Stretch in '87.
Don't go too deep into that because that's coming up next.
Okay. But the thing was this though about what I'm about to tell you. What happened to me was Lusky from Soul Train took us to a party in LA, somewhere in South Central. He said, I'm gonna come pick y'all up from the hotel and I'm gonna take y'all to some fly LA shit. So he took us to a Soul Brothers party and we went up in the party. It was like a storefront. It was like, what the hell is this? It was packed. And you guys was dressed like the Temptations. And I was like, and the records was going so young, so sweet. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? The beats per minute is fast. But it was, again, rapid footwork that was fast. And me and Stretch was standing there like this. It's like we went to another planet.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, what made me do my research and go deep, I saw something when I was on the road, and I saw something with on Motown. I saw something with James Brown, and I said, why they remind me of somebody? They remind me of somebody. The Soul Brothers remind me of somebody. And you guys were the next generation of the Fabulous Flames.
Wow.
See, and those were James Brown's best friends that he grew up with that were dancers and they could sing. So he made them a part of his crew. It was Bobby Bird. It was Baby Lloyd, Starworth, and what was his name? Bobby Bennett and James Brown. So it was like 100. It was like maybe, what was it? How many of y'all was it first before y'all became the trio? Seven, eight. So it was like watching those guys. And I always got off on the Flames. I was like, yo, why are the background singers dancing so incredible? And how James would interact with them. And then doing my research after seeing y'all, and I was like, why they? And I saw something on James Brown. I said, that's them guys, them Soul Brothers. Them guys are the Fabulous Flames. Because y'all was wearing sharkskin suits, and y'all had on dope pointy shoes. Y'all had on ties and white shirts. Y'all presentation was impeccable, but the way y'all was dancing, it was just like the Flames. Did y'all know that? Did y'all was dancing like the Flames? That's crazy, bro.
And
You
this
see
right
how
here,
the
so now on this part right here, this is cool. We just build right off that. So I'm actually gonna go to lead up on part 2 and then go back to part 1. Now, the way we saw you and Stretch at the time of transition, right? Now, like I said, I watched the whole game. I saw when Doc Ice and Kango were dancing for Whodini. Like I said, there was more popping, locking, a little b-boying, and a little boogieing. I love what they did, and I said it was a great show. But then I really saw them get busy as UTFO, so I knew what they could do. But when you and Stretch came in, I was like, "What is that?" You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, back then I ain't seen, a lot of dancers dance behind Tina Turner. A lot of dancers dance behind, Tom Jones or something. You know what I'm saying? You never really look back there. You know, you don't really look in the back. You know what I'm saying? They just there. When y'all got there, Brody, I forgot about Whodini. I was like, what is that? Like the gear you had on, the way y'all was moving. So when I saw that, like I said, it reminded me of like Honey Coles and Charlie Atkins. It reminded me of that because it was smoother.
Charlie Atkins.
It wasn't fast paced. And like I said, we were going in transition. And like I said, the certain way y'all moved y'all body, the way y'all hit certain shit, it just wasn't a spin. Something went with the spin. I'm going to get to that later. But like I said, that's how we saw y'all. Smoother, cooler pace. You know what I'm saying? When y'all saw the speed, I saw something else. I saw, colors. You know what I'm saying? I saw enjoying the beat. You know what I'm saying? And really doing something dynamic with it. So it was totally different, the dynamic, like I said, than Kango and Dr. Ice. So did y'all know that we saw y'all as Cole and Atkins?
Nah, I mean, I take that as a hell of a compliment because this put me in stretching the same lane as Charlie Atkins,
Bro, that's what I saw, Cutty. That's what I
Lon
saw.
Fontaine, and Paul Kennedy. Those are the guys those were the choreographers and development behind Motown that taught the Temptations and Supremes how to. So that's a hell of a compliment, man. Nah, we just was, what's crazy? Me and Stretch was just having fun because back when we were doing it, it was no politics. It was really the golden era, and we were just having fun. We would just make up things. We would just be in the hotel room, put our beds up against the wall, and utilize that space and just go for it and just come up with dances and do it in concert, do it on TV or whatever platform we had, and just being as creative with and just, keeping up the speed with Whodini, and they treated us like equals. Jaleel X and Grandmaster D, it wasn't like, oh yeah, y'all the dancers and y'all not. They paid us well. They made sure we had money for our pieces and so we could stay colorful and fun. And we was just presenting everybody with the garments and the gear of our influences from the streets of Brooklyn, the streets of New York City, for all 5 boroughs. We just was making our pieces. We would buy all white whatever, and we would just dye our stuff in the bathtub and make stuff and make it look right. So Whodini's changed on stage 3-4 times. We changed on stage 3-4 times. We were a part of the show, and Jaleel was like, he picked us, I guess, because we were like, he picked me Lance because he knew that we were just doing what we had to do without him telling us. And between Stretch and Lance, we just was having a lot of fun and we just was doing our thing, effortless, because there was no politics, it was no drama, it wasn't a lot of. It was just us, Heavy D, and the boys. And then y'all came into the game with Def Jeff. It was a handful of dance groups, and and then it just exploded and evolved. We just was having fun, bro. We wasn't thinking. We just was living in the moment, man, being teenagers, man, for real.
Living in the moment, I'm going to stick with the Cliff Stretch combination, because that's the one that really made the impacts. Because like I said, I didn't know till the other day how much history Lance had on the dance floor with you and Whodini before Stretch came in. I thought he was like did a couple of shows and he was out of there. But I didn't know he actually did a whole tour with you.
Yeah. We went to London together, and Lance was a part of that whole. Lance is from Texas originally, and he lived in the Bronx, and he lived like maybe 10 minutes from the Rooftop. So he was one of them kids up in the Rooftop running around, and he was in the Rooftop before me. He was in the Rooftop in like 84, 85. I didn't come in the Rooftop to 85. He was in there a year before me, getting busy on the dance floor with Juice and Wiz and all them cats sliding around and shit.
Hey, I heard crazy ass Lance.
Lance is
I think
crazy.
Russell Simmons or somebody trying to test his pimping. And he did some crazy shit. Got a Godzilla suit and pretended to jump off the Brooklyn Bridge. Is that true?
Yeah, man, that cat put on a gorilla suit, some Godzilla, some shit. And this fool climbed to the top of the Brooklyn Bridge. He held on to them damn things. And this fool went to the top of the bridge and with a dinosaur suit. It was something he was doing, I don't know. And all we know is we on the tour bus and Lance throws in this videotape. He was all on the news. I think my mom's was like, Cliff, Lance is on top of the Brooklyn Bridge, and got arrested. And when he was arrested, he was talking in the camera, barking and making noises and shit. This dude is out his goddamn mind.
Classic.
But Lance shook. Yeah, Lance didn't want to dance no more. He wanted to pursue making music and stuff. So he left and did his thing. And then that's when I found, I said, I need a partner that I could trust and I could really get busy. And I knew Stretch from 83, 82, 83, 84, Beach Street era. Because I met Stretch at the Roxy's. When we were young, we was like 13, 14 years old. And Stretch had a dance partner that was this Asian cat that was nice. These cats was popping Stretch was nice. So I knew Stretch from that era. And then I went and grabbed up Stretch. He was dancing in Union Square. And he was doing his thing. And I went and got the homie because I knew he understood the eras. Like how you said, the Rocksteady, the whole Dr. Ice Kango. So he understood that transition. Plus I'm from Bed-Stuy, you know what I mean? He from Bushwick. So it's two Brooklyn heads together. So we from Planet Brooklyn.
That's right.
So he was battling cats and from Marcy to Farragut, and I was doing the same thing with my crew with AB and them. We was hitting all the projects in Brooklyn. We was getting busy as a tribe. So I understood. Stretch understood the essence of it, and he understood the streets, and he didn't have no fear. He didn't give a fuck who it was, what it was. So yeah. Yeah.
So you guys, to me, always consider it the blueprint of the golden era, where the DJ, the MC, and the dancers was one, killing the show, right? Killing it. So there was no question. No, I'm gonna get to that next. Let me get to C Love style. Now, you were a taller dancer, but extremely light on your feet, right? And I know the kind of stuff you like. I know you love Mike Spins, which was perfect. He was my favorite. I like V-Love spin because instead of putting right over left, V-Love goes left behind the right, cocks right and spins left. Drake got more of a perfect spin like MJ's. But your spin, you brought in the shoulder to here. And even later on, Omar brought it all the way up here. Like, what made you say, okay, because I know how much you love Mike spins. What made you say, okay, I want my spins. This is cold, but I got to put a little bit of sweet love on it. Because you brought like I said, you brought the to the game and hit your spins and You know, and did it like that. Like, what was it? The music? Was it like your style with your clothing? Like, what was it that made you bring that?
Yeah.
Because
I
even
don't know.
taking
That's
that
a good
stroke, like
question.
you had it elevated, going down, and you know, you brought that to the game and looking up.
Man,
You know.
I don't know, man. I guess you know, I don't know, man. But all I could say is, I guess from just watching a lot of footage and really watching with Charlie Atkins, how he turned out the Temptations. Like when I would just,
Mm-hmm.
I knew they were singers, but I just looked at them dance. I looked
Mm-hmm.
at the Fabulous Flames. I looked at James Brown when he danced,
Mm-hmm.
the way he spun. I guess it was just so many inspirations,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with Lon Fontaine and the way Paul Kennedy, the way
Mm-hmm.
they had the Supremes, and I would just watch the way they moved. But really, them Temptations, man, they just was the combinations, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then looking at the Flames, they were like the masters of poising. They
Mm-hmm.
would just pause in the middle of a freeze and just stop.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they would hold their shoulders. So I guess watching that stuff for so long, it
Mm-hmm.
was like it was inevitable for me to just channel that energy. And
Mm-hmm.
I guess the ancestors was just in me and Stretch, and they just guided us through everything. And I just give it up to, I give it up to the true pioneers. The stuff that we talk about, Ledge. It's like we love these people. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's bigger. It's bigger than us as dancers. You know,
Ghost
I
the
could sit here
greatest.
and I'm not gonna sit here and talk about myself as a dancer. That's up to you. You asking me questions, but for me
Mm-hmm.
personally, humbly
Mm-hmm.
speaking, when I look at Chris Brown or when I look at all of these young cats that's doing it,
Mm-hmm.
it's like they don't even realize when I look at when I look at Omarion. He in that what's that song Omarion did with Chris Brown and that little the little cutie pie, the little I don't know what she is,
Yeah,
but they
yeah,
did a
I know what you're
song,
talking about. Yeah, but
that
people,
video.
uh,
Yo, in the video, got on this 3/4 Letterman's jacket.
mm-hmm.
3/4, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he's leaning on a Ferrari
Mm-hmm.
and he's dancing. And he got on his Timbs.
Mm-hmm.
And the way he's grooving and the fool is sliding on the car, but he giving you foot
Mm-hmm.
combinations. And I'm yelling like, whoa, oh, he cold on this one.
Yeah.
But it was just, like when I see stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
it's like listening to the record James Brown Payback.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's them streets, it's the grits, it's the gravy, it's them
Mm-hmm.
pork chops, it's them collard
Mm-hmm.
greens, it's them after hours, it's them dice games. That's what's in us, man.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all what's in us, man. It's like honey coal and them cats.
Yeah.
Forget all the politics, it's the streets.
Yeah.
To answer your question, goddammit, I'm getting into it. It's the streets,
That's right, exactly. So now, I want you to pop, and I need you to pop on this section. Like I said, it's like, you know, we real ones, so we're going to give our A's as well as our F's. Now, Whodini days, in your prime, you Stretch at your peak, killing them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talk to Jalil. He used to tell me, you know, because not only y'all had the battle in the circles, you understood the essence of the battle of the bands on tour. You know what I'm saying? Having the best show. Sit down. So I heard about all the vicious battles with Run DMC. But on a couple of nights, not expecting it, I heard Fat Boys and New Edition used to give y'all some problems. So what was it, knowing y'all cold as ice, what was it trying to get over the hump when the Fat Boy was in rare form and when New Edition was in rare form against y'all?
Well, this is the deal. Me and Stretch was me and Lance Romance first, and then me and Stretch from '87 moving on. We was with Whodini in that era. Dr. Ice and Kango Kid was with Whodini and them in '84, '85. The Swatch Watch that era. So
Okay.
I didn't get to experience the Fat
Oh,
Boys and New
okay.
Edition
Okay.
situation, but I could tell you about Run DMC and LL Cool J and all that stuff. But
Yeah,
that
I
was
heard about those. So where was that? Like I said, they had no dancers, but y'all still had to come hard as hell, like LL. Like, what was it? Like, what was the tension? Because every night I heard y'all want to have the best show. Like, give me a moment when y'all was getting ready for the Garden.
oh man. Um, well, interesting is no one knew in New York because we didn't have social media back then, so
Yeah.
nobody knew. So
Mm-hmm.
if it was the streets was talking, if they heard, oh, Cliff is out there dancing with the fellas, and they
Mm-hmm.
about to do the Garden, whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
we was doing the Garden, shit,
Mm-hmm.
and the stakes was high.
Mm-hmm.
Dougie Fresh had the biggest record in the country, the show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whodini was in the top of the food chain when it came to the world of rap music. Run DMC was at the top of the food chain, and your boy Jaleel Hutchins, aka the Japper, aka the master rapper,
Mm-hmm.
his attitude every night was like, yo, regardless if we in New York or we going to Oakland Coliseum, because let me say this, Whodini had their cities that they ran.
Mm-hmm.
So Oakland Coliseum
Joe Louis Arena.
in Detroit.
Yes.
Woo!
At Joe Louis Arena, I heard y'all hands down. Ain't nobody coming on the stage.
Yo, let me tell you something. Whodini
Smoking.
ran Detroit, Michigan.
Uh-huh.
Detroit was so cold. Off the subject, Detroit was so cold and them cats was so street. We used to stay they had built a new Omni or Hyatt Hotel or something in Detroit back in the 80s. Brand new. So me meeting people, I met these cats and these cats drove dirt bikes. So I'm off dirt bike riding with these cats in the streets of Detroit. These fools come back to the hotel. And back then, they have the elevators that you could see through. These fools is riding their motorcycles, popping wheelies down the hallways of the hotel. But
Hey,
anyway.
let me ask you this, Cliff. Like I said, we done seen dancers, many a times being behind the artist or whatever. Like, really don't know who they are. So, did you and Stretch earn that and like set the tone for all of us to like, okay, these are my guys, international dancers, or like I said, did you just recognize it off the top, or did y'all have to earn it, or what was the case may be, to where they would step to the side and be like, check y'all and give y'all the floor. You know what I'm saying? Not the side, we're being real cats too. But what made them say, let me give these cats they shot?
You talking about from Whodini's perspective,
From
right?
Whodini, yeah. Like I said, they stepped to the side and gave y'all the floor. So did y'all earn that, or was y'all just that cold? Like, what was it?
They knew out the gate when we met. That's why we was part of the movement. They from Brooklyn, Jaleel from Gowanus, Ecstasy from Farragut, Grandmaster D is from Brooklyn. So they knew what they were getting into because they knew that we know how to hit them on the D floor, but we know how to dress the part because I was always in the fashion and style and things of that nature. So, they knew the expectations were there and they didn't have to babysit us and look over us and say, do this and do that. We understood protocol out the gate. That's why we in the major leagues now. I went from the dancing in the neighborhood to the major league.
That's right.
So I had to come with the funk and I had to come with the fly. I had to come with the real. So me and Stretch knew it was like we represented the Latin Quarters, we represented the Rooftop, we represented the Roxy, we represented Save the Robots, we represented Dance Interior, we represented every place that we ever danced at, Smurf City on Fulton Street, up the street from me, every hood, ghetto, all the Catholic churches that cats danced at, early on, and it was like we're on this stage performing in front of 40, 50, 60,000 people a night. We had the Oakland Coliseum. I'm in Oakland, California. I'm in Los Angeles, California, performing at the Great Western Forum. I'm performing at the Philadelphia Spectrum. So it was like, you had to come with your A game, and the competition was real. Jalil used to say, check this out. All right, y'all, this is the play tonight. Who is in the house? Jalil was the leader of the crew. But he was classy, he was sophisticated, and he was passionate. And he was emotionally attached to Whodini in a great way. That's why them songs, Jalil wrote every song as we know, and him and Larry Smith did a phenomenal job. But when we went on stage, it was like, we gotta bring it, y'all.
Junkyard Dog.
Oh my God, Junkyard Dogs. Exactly. You know, you talking about the kids from DC?
No, I'm just saying the attitude of a Junkyard Dog.
Yeah. He was
Poppy
like,
and Shard with the attitude of a Junkyard Dog.
exactly.
Don't come on the stage with no foolishness.
Don't come on this stage with no foolishness. We're gonna rock this show tonight, y'all. And we want them in their dressing room. And it was a friendly competition. Because it was LL, E-Love, Cut Creator, and Bobcat on stage. So, and then DJ Pooh would come out and do his thing and act a fool and have everybody laughing. But it was like LL was a solo. Ladies love Cool J. He was at the top of the food chain. He was on the same level as New Edition. New Edition had 5 cats. LL was one person. And he was all of them in one.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Not playing. Cool J was not playing.
At all.
Bro.
No.
The Dips was yelling. By the time we got on stage, we saw the crowd shift though. Because LL's fans were fade to the back. And the Whodini fans were fade to the front. It was a mutual respect. And then when Whodini, we finished our set, the Run DMC fans were fade to the front. And it made it so dope because we witnessed it. Like when we went to Texas, Houston, Dallas, Brody, me and Stretch would be like this. We'd be in the dressing room and we never was like, oh, I'm nervous and this and that. It was like, I can't wait to get out there. Because we made friends in these different cities that were dancers. Atlanta, oh my God. Oh my God, they loved Whodini. So when we went to Atlanta, Georgia, Brody, it was, the road treated us great. The people treated us great. And we performed. Running them had dope shows. We won a lot of nights. They won nights. Cool J won a lot of nights. And they rocked it. And when Eric B. and Rakim and them came in the game, they had their nights they won. Public Enemy won. The Beastie Boys were the opening act on the Raising Hell tour. They won every night. They was something fresh and new. But what it taught me was, Brody, that it was bigger than Whodini. It was bigger than us. And humbly speaking, it was a friendly competition. And everybody fed the people what we learned in the inner city. That's a global phenomenon now. That's a $1 trillion industry.
Yes.
And that's the beautiful thing about hip hop. If people just not look at themselves as, oh, I'm the baddest this and I'm the baddest that. Look at the way it has paved the way for companies like Nike and Adidas. Adidas was going out of business before Run DMC came out with the Adidas shoe. Run DMC saved their lives. So the economy, it's a huge part of, when you see them fools ring that bell at on Wall Street, when they on Wall Street, when they ringing that bell, they making money off of hip hop, Playboy. The hat you wearing, the glasses I'm wearing, the gold, everything now is being made and has been built off of hip hop culture.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hey,
it's real.
before we move on from that,
I'm
okay,
sorry
we'll
I
break
went
down.
into that, man, because I just get passionate about this, man. I
No,
just
you're
love the
supposed to. You
culture, bro.
already you covered the whole thing. That was already a question. That's why
I
we, you know, we
swear, bro, I
flow.
just love this shit, man. It's like
It's like a
whatever.
dance move, Cutty Mac. What's up, Bo Nose? My bro shot.
We're about to go on a part two.
We go. It's like a dance move. We're going back and forth. Like I said, we feed off each other.
That's
Let me
dope,
ask
man.
you
I
this
appreciate
though.
it.
Like I said, it's like, you know what I'm saying, we got to tell them hidden gems, speaking of that nobody knows about. Papa Chicken. Like everybody knows about them cold sessions in the rooftop, cold sessions at Union Square. But we always call your house the Holy Grail. 333 Lafayette. Tell these cats some of the dancers who danced on your living room floor in our heyday, Cuddy. Who's
Well, I
been to
want
your living room, getting it in your living room, Jack?
the Soul Brothers, V Love, Craigie, Legendary. And Legendary was there before the Soul Brothers. Legendary came through when I met you when you was dancing on Soul Train and we created a bond.
Yep, getting the
Um,
food back.
Ricky Bell, Ronnie DeVoe, you know, the NE crew, you know, Scoob and Scrap. Before they was with Kane, they was straight up IOU. You know, the IBM dancers. You know, my man, rest in peace, my man Showtime and E Boogie and Cornbread. My man Mike Swift and one of my favorites and one of my real good friends and rest in peace, Trouble T Roy. You know, Heavy D and the Boys, the homie, man. And one of my favorite dancers of all time, my man Fendi. You know, just a fly Brooklyn cat from Rockaway that was just rocking them all the way, coming through fly with the mean cuts, with the fly pieces on, you know what I'm saying? My man Fendi, you know, just, you know, Rosie Perez came through. Rosie came through and she was grooving and, you know, just a lot of people. My mom's was real, you know, my mom's was real supportive of us, whatever we wanted to do in life and she gave us the throughway to it was a utopia of safe
Mm-hmm.
of a safe place where we could just be ourselves and be creative
Mm-hmm.
and just have a lot of fun. And my mom let us write graffiti in the room. My walls look like the New York City train station.
Mm-hmm.
So when
Yeah.
cats came in my crib, it was like it was hip hop before it was even called hip hop.
Yeah.
It was just the down by law thing, whatever. But you know, you
Mm-hmm.
name them, they came through, and we was just having fun, man,
Mm-hmm.
for
Now
real.
we're gonna go. Hey, this is about to break down. We're gonna finish this up in less than 20 seconds. So we're all gonna chime off and we're gonna chime right back in 20 seconds. Hope y'all enjoying it. So we just tick down because we want to get in. So we probably go. We almost done, y'all. Signing off, and we will be back on. Hold on, let me say this, y'all.
Right.
Okay.
Yo, yo. Hip hop dance stories. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. I'm going to drop part 2 of Cliff Love next week because it's like another long hour. We have parts 2 and 3. So I think 2 is probably like a half hour. So I dropped both of those next week for y'all. He was dropping mad game for sure. So yeah, that was a replay, but the first time on YouTube for y'all. Yeah, good looking out, Gooch by Cutty. Bro shot. Yes, sir. I'm chilling, y'all. We're still on hiatus, but we already got the new season lined up for y'all. We out making moves. Afro, check out V Love Show on Deaf Eye Radio. Y'all know he already got that popping. And yeah, I'm in coach mode right now. So you know my head's in a whole different place. But we still got some great shows that y'all haven't seen on YouTube. So I will be dropping those till we come back. So you got Clip Love 2 and 3 next week. Then we got a Salima. And then we got the one that started all off. Then we'll be back. All right. So next week, Cutty, salute, Brody.